Euro USD live Tuesday, the 17th of September 2024 market direction with entry, stop loss, and take profit. And remember, on this very live stream, I'll be having a free giveaway. So make sure to stay around as I actually get into this. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the live stream today. Are you ready to know the direction of the day for the world's most traded forex pair, the Euro USD? On this very live stream, I'll be telling you exactly where I believe the Euro USD is going to be going on this very day, the 17th of September 2024. So be sure to stick around as we dive into all this. Now, if you know or if you didn't know, then you know that every Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. my local time, that is East African time, or if you're using the New York time, that is exactly at 1:30 a.m. I jump onto these live streams to basically share what I believe the direction of the day is going to be like on the Euro USD. Now, I do this using my 50% win rate strategy, which gives me a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. So it is a very profitable strategy because if you're an ardent follower here, you know that I always share my results. I've always shared with you guys to see exactly how this particular strategy has been performing for over a year now. So definitely it is a profitable strategy. So what does a 50% win rate look like? What does it look like? It basically means that for every 10 trades that I take, at least 5 of those should be winners. So definitely it is a very profitable strategy with a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, which keeps me profitable every single month. So if you're out there and you maybe do not have a strategy to trade, definitely this is going to be the strategy that you trade. Now, let's talk about conquering fear. I mean, have you ever been in a situation where you are trying to put on a trade and you're hesitant, you feel like you shouldn't put it on? Maybe you lost 5 trades in a row and you don't feel like putting on that next trade. Have you ever been in that kind of situation? Now, let me talk to you about this. First thing, you need to go and backtest your strategy. Get to at least backtest 100 trades so that you have concrete data behind your strategy that is going to enable you, put away all that kind of fear that you might be having. And then understand that when you're trading, this is like a game. You must play it. Come rain, come shine, you must play the game. You must always be there to execute your edge when it appears in the market. So your edge will always play out. So try and imagine if you've taken 5 losses in a row and then you hesitate on the 6th, trade, and then this is when actually you end up winning. But this is when your edge again plays out. This is when your edge plays out again, and then you end up, missing that trade. You'll feel so bad about yourself. You'll start, blaming yourself and all that. But if you actually stuck around and you just put on that trade, you obviously would have recovered part of the losses that you've already taken in the market. So you should always look at the big picture. Do not look at that one trade that you're going to be taking. So always have a bigger perspective when it comes to trading. So basically, that's my word of advice to you today. Hope you take it. Even if you don't take it, I'm sure you will always refer back to this because it is how trading is. If you do not think long term, definitely you're always going to be disappointed in the market. Always understand that the market doesn't owe you anything. So it's all about you finding what really works for you and sticking to that. Once you do this, trust me, you will never regret. So basically, that's my word of advice to you. And then the other thing I would like to tell you guys that for me, before I even get onto the chart, usually there's some kind of routine I go through. Now, for me, I'm a purely technical trader, but I also like to check to know what exactly the fundamentals of the day are saying. And today, which is the 17th of September 2024, if we are to check on the fundamentals, let me try and share with you guys my screen. Let me try and share what I'll be seeing or what I'm seeing on my end. Let me try and share my screen just in a bit. Okay, so today, which is the 17th of September 2024, you can clearly see on my screen that at 3:30 p.m. or that's 8:30 a.m. New York time, there will be retail sales. The retail sales monthly report will be dropping, and you can see the forecast is 0.2, and then previously it was at 0.4%. So they expect a decrease. Basically, they are forecasting a decrease from the 0.4% of last month. So basically, what does this mean? So for me, how I trade this news is basically if I have a trade going on, I basically like to just manage my trade through these news events. To find that if you're having a trade on and especially these red folder news events, when they drop, they might end up, messing you up, especially if you have a trade on and this red folder news event drops. If that particular news happens to go against you, you might end up getting slipped more than what you actually early anticipated to maybe risk on that particular trade. If you, let's say, risked maybe 10 pips on that particular trade, they might end up slipping you maybe 10 pips more. This can happen, especially with the brokers that we use. So the best way to actually avoid this kind of situation is basically you being able to manage your trades. Now, before you even manage your trade, you need to know exactly the time this particular red folder news is going to be dropping. So for example, today, my local time here in East Africa, it will be at 3:30 p.m. If you're using New York time, that will be exactly at 8:30 a.m. So what does this mean? This basically means that at least 5 minutes before this news drops, in my opinion, 5 minutes before the news drops, try and move your stop to break even, and wait for the news to drop. So once the news drops, then once you have your stop at a break even if you're slipped, it won't be as detrimental as someone who has a full risk on, because the person with full risk on will end up, getting slipped terribly if this particular news happens to go against them. So the best way to safeguard yourself is moving your stop to break even and then wait maybe 10-15 minutes after this news has dropped. That is if the news actually happens to go for you or go in your direction. Then once these 10-15 minutes are passed, then this is when you move back your stop to where initially it was. So basically, this is how I manage my trades through the news, and it has helped me. I found it very profitable in my way of trading. I find this very good because I'm someone who basically doesn't trade news. There are some ninjas out there that for them, they actually place or put on their trades as this news is dropping because they want to, catch the move for that particular news event. But I don't trade news. I'm someone who doesn't trade news. But if a trade happens to find me, or if this news happens to find when I already have a trade on, I just like to manage my trade well. And what I basically do is move my stop to break even. Once the news is done, then I move it back to where the stop was initially. So basically, this is how I trade. I'm not like those people who basically trade through the news. I like to call this gambling because you just you're just playing with luck, saying whatever happens in this trade. You don't have any concrete data behind maybe that particular news to tell you if it's going to go up or down. You're not sure. You're just putting on the trade, hoping it might go your way. So There are some people who trade this way, but props to them, man. Props to them, because for me, I like to call that gambling. It's gambling big time. So basically, that's the news we're going to be having today at 3:30. It's retail sales news, and this moves the market most of the time. So if you're out there and maybe you trade news, this is probably something you should be looking out for. So away from this, let's get onto the chart to show you exactly what I believe the direction of the day is going to be like. And remember, I'm also going to be sharing my strategy right here for free. Everything about this strategy, I'm going to be sharing and showing you exactly what the direction of the day is, and basically how I trade my strategy. Now, as I trade this strategy, don't go ahead and say, he said price is going to move maybe this way, and I should go full margin on that particular trade. Guys, that's not how trading works. That's more of a gambling kind of mindset. When it comes to trading, you must always manage your risk right. Even when you're sure that price might move in your direction, you don't pull to one full margin. Things might change. Things always change with the markets. Things always change. So don't think what you know or what your analysis says is exactly how things are going to play out. That's not how things work. So this is what we have for today, which is the 17th of September 2024. This is what we have as price action right there. Now, when it comes to my strategy, it is a strategy that bases off the previous day's price action. Now, when we see this was the price action from yesterday, it was very, very bullish. You can clearly see that's what our price was like. It was very bullish. So what do we expect today? So now for me, this strategy, I basically look out for what I call areas of interest from the previous day. This can either be an order block. This can be, as I'm telling you, this can either be an order block. This can be a fair value gap. This can be equal highs or equal lows. Any of these, I like to call these areas of interest, because what ends up happening on the next day, price likes to tap back into these areas of interest, and then once it has tapped back into these areas of interest to basically, generate or basically pick some liquidity from these areas, then price likes to reverse in the other opposite direction. So this is how basically I coined, or this is how I crafted my strategy, and I'm telling you guys, it's a 50% win rate strategy. And it gives me a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, which always keeps me profitable in the market. So basically, this is what I'm going to be looking at today. So when we look at the high of yesterday, this was the high from yesterday. It was formed, but I'm not considering that, because that's majorly not a big area of interest for me. I'm now, since there's nothing above here, like maybe an equal high or equal low or a fair value gap, or maybe an order block, since there is nothing there, so then what I go ahead and do, I'm only going to consider this high for the Asian session, the high right there. So that's what I'm considering today when it comes to the upper side of the price right there. So I'm only considering that high for the Asian session when it comes to the upper part of the price action today. So the level I'm keenly going to be looking at is this particular level at 1.11331. That's a key level I'm going to be monitoring. Once price gets there, or once price takes out any of the highs resting above the high of the Asian session, then I'll look to actually take a trade in the opposite direction. So this is basically what I mean. So once price comes to this particular level right here, then I'll basically be taking a trade in the opposite direction. So if it doesn't happen this way, then obviously this is a longer short. Uh, if we are to consider this other side, so the low from yesterday was this, which led to the formation of this order block as price was breaking structure right there on the 1 hour time frame. So another level where I can see a major reversal, just in case of anything today, maybe news can be a big catalyst for this. So the other level that I'll be looking to trade off of, once price gets to this level at 1.10729, once price gets to that level. So this is another scenario I'll be looking at. So price comes all the way down here this direction. So these are two scenarios I'll be looking at. Obviously, this is a longer shot. It might not happen, but anything does happen, or anything can happen in the market. So you can't be so sure. So for me, I'm someone who reacts off levels. So once price gets to this level, then I'll be reacting. Once price gets to this level, I'll react. So if any of the two, wherever price gets too fast, that's where I'll be taking my trade from. So basically, this is what I'm looking at for today. Today, which is the 17th of September 2024. This is what I'm looking at. So once price gets to either this level or this level, what then I do is basically drop down to the 5-minute time frame, and this is where I take my entry. Now, when it comes to entry, I always wait for price to form what I call an inversion fair value gap. This is when price actually covers a previously existing fair value gap on the 5-minute time frame. For example, if you can see right here, there was a fair value gap. Let me try and mark that out for you. There was a fair value gap just right here that was formed by this bullish candle. There was a fair value gap that was formed, and then what ended up happening, there's this bearish candle that came and overlapped or covered this fair value gap. So that's what I like to call an inversion fair value gap. So once I see that form, definitely this is how I make my entry, and my stop loss is usually 10 pips. And when it comes to the take profit, I always use 30 pips as my take profit. But I also like to squeeze this to a 1 to 4 to basically be able to make extra profits from the market. So basically, this is how I'm going to be looking at things today. So if price gets to any of these levels, I'm definitely, striking. So basically, this is what I'll be looking at today, the 17th of September 2024. Hope you guys will be seeing or looking at price or the market in the same lens I'll be looking at it. So basically, this is my opinion for today. You can go ahead, let me know in the comment section exactly what you think or feel about this particular way determining direction of the market. So even also, if you're out there and maybe you didn't have a strategy to trade, definitely this could be a strategy you take home for yourself. But obviously, just don't take my word for it. You obviously have to go out there and backtest this strategy. Try and backtest it very well so that you get to confirm that it really works. Because for me, I'm telling you, it's a 50% win rate strategy, and it always keeps me profitable. So basically, this is what I'll be looking at today, the 17th of September 2024. But then also remember, don't just take my word for it and go all in. There are those guys that watch these live streams, and then since they've gotten to know that, oh, he has said the direction is going to be this way, and then they go full margin on the trade. Guys, with trading, it's not gambling. You must manage your risk right, or you must manage your risk well. If you do not manage your risk well, you will not stay long in this game. So try and manage your risk very well. That's how you're going to play this game for a very long time. So basically, this is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. In case you did, please go ahead, like the live stream, subscribe, and also share this live stream maybe with a friend or colleague out there that maybe lacks clarity when it comes to the direction of the day. So thank you guys for joining me today. I greatly appreciate you taking your time to, always come onto these live streams. It really means a lot to me. So thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you guys a very good trading day.